guys, it's the DIY Zoo here with another video on desert horned lizards, also known as Phrynosoma platyrhynose. First, a little bit of news. I got this cool poster here. It's got amphibians and reptiles on it, a whole bunch of different species, and gives you a little bit of information on each species. It was like $6 on Amazon. It was awesome. So yeah, that's about it. Let's get to the video. So I showed you guys a brief little bit on this lizard in my last video, which was a reptile room update. But I'm going to do a little bit more of an involved video with this lizard because I'm really excited about it. It's a really cool lizard. They're from the southwest of the United States and parts of Mexico. They're like a pretty arid desert species. They feed almost exclusively on harvester ants, which, if you're not familiar with them, they're called fire ants. They're red, they can sting, and they have very painful bites. So it's pretty hard to keep these in captivity for that reason, because it can be hard to find these, but you can order them online. They don't usually sell these in pet stores or expos, so you can really only order them online. And it's also a little bit of a pain because they don't sell queen ants, so you can't start your own colony. It's like you're constantly buying new ants. They're interesting because the ants actually have a bit of venom in their sting, which can kill a small mouse. But desert horned lizards are immune to their venom because they've been feeding on them for so long. I'm still a little bit nervous whenever I try to feed him, which is okay. But I just put an ant in there. It's running around. Maybe we can see him take it down. I also feed them every once in a while very small crickets, small dubia roaches, fruit flies every once in a while. But I think he's getting a little bit too big for the fruit flies. I'm actually not sure what sex it is yet, so I shouldn't call him it. Shouldn't call it a he. Yeah, it's still a baby, so I'm not sure exactly if it's a female or a male. Let me talk a little bit about their housing requirements. They require, per lizard, it's for like 2 lizards, it's good to have a minimum 60-gallon tank. I only have 1 lizard, so I'm keeping him in a 20-gallon tank, but I think I want to, since he's only a baby right now, 20 gallons is okay. I'm going to try and upgrade him to a 30-gallon eventually. And you should, I don't have it yet, but you should have things that block the back and the sides so he can't see out of it, so he doesn't try and run up against the glass all the time. These are really easily stressed species of lizard, which is another reason why it's pretty hard to take care of them in captivity. They stress out really easily, which is one of the leading factors to their death. You can't really hold them too often. I might try and get a little bit of holding time with him today, just because I haven't picked him up in a long time. You're not supposed to pick them up that often, unless it's like an emergency or you're cleaning out their tank. So yeah, you shouldn't really hold them too often. They're a look, don't touch kind of species. This particular species doesn't do it, but with other species in the genus, within the Phrynosoma genus, they are able to actually squirt toxic blood out of their eyes when they feel threatened. It acts as like a pepper spray almost. So if there's like a a dog or a cat that's attacking them, they'll squirt blood out of their eyes and it shoots backwards. It's pretty cool. There's some videos on it on YouTube. You should check them out. This particular species, however, does not do that. They do play dead. They'll run away from you as fast as they can, but they don't squirt blood. I'm not actually sure if it's legal to own the species that squirt blood. I know there's 1 or 2 species in the Phrynosoma genus that you're not legally allowed to take care of in captivity because I think they're threatened or endangered. But this isn't one of those species. This is Platyrhynus, which means flat-nosed. Rhinos, of course, you know that word from rhinoceros. A little bit more info on their care. They do require a substrate. If anyone tells you that they don't, then they don't know what they're talking about. Usually with reptiles and amphibians, having a substrate, it's a touchy subject. Some people will say it causes impaction. You shouldn't do that. With this species, they bury themselves every time they go to sleep. They dig themselves into the sand, so they need something to bury themselves into to feel secure. So they do need the substrate. I just have a mix of play sand and just some other various like gravelly big pebbles kind of things. I think I might trade it out eventually to get a little bit finer of a sand, so just in case he does ingest some of it, it's easier for him to pass. These grains of sand are a little bit bigger than what I want them to be. I have a few plants in there. That's an agave. It's native to where I try to keep all the plants that I put in animals' terrariums native to where that animal is also from. So that's native to that. This one right here is an agave. It's native to same areas, Southwest United States, parts of Mexico. And then I have a few Echeveria plants as well, just little pups that started to grow from leaves that had fallen off the mom plant, I guess. That one is not looking so good. I should probably take that out soon. That one was actually doing the best out of all of them, but it started to take a turn. He always uproots that one. He'll run across it and just pull it right out of the sand. So yeah, I don't think he's tried to go for that. Can you see him back there?
Not really.
Okay, I'll try and pick him up and hold him. Give you a little bit of an idea of. Can't quite get him out. There he is. Closing his eyes. There it is. So this is the first time I've actually held him since probably since I've gotten him. Actually, I picked him up a few times to clean out his tank, but so there he is. Look at that tail. Yeah, I suggest before getting a desert horned lizard, you should really, really do your research on them. If you don't do what they need, if you don't do the proper care, they will die. Another reason why it's pretty hard to take care of these lizards, and something that most people don't realize, people who don't do their research before getting these lizards, is that they don't see standing water. So in order to water them, they don't lick it off plants too. They won't lick it off dripping. If they like see running water, they won't lick it off. You have to actually get a spray bottle and you have to spray them, and you have to soak them in water. And then the way their scales are set up, their scales will channel the water to their mouths, and then that's where they'll lap up the water, is just from their head, from the water running off of their head to their mouth. I got this little lizard from someone on Craigslist, and I don't think that person knew that. I don't think this person understood how to take care of this lizard. He wasn't feeding the lizard harvester ants. He was just doing fruit flies. And there's also a supplement if you don't feed them fruit flies, or if you don't feed them harvester ants. If you don't feed them harvester ants, there's a supplement that they're supposed to get, but it's not. It's labeled as experimental, so they don't say that it's necessary for them. It's just an experimental thing, which sounds kind of shady to me. I think it's just people trying to sell you an extra product that you don't really need. As long as you're feeding them harvester ants, you don't need to give them any other sort of supplement. Maybe calcium every once in a while, just to give them that extra boost. They need a really high UVA, UVB output too, so you need a good UVA, UVB lamp, and you need a hot spot of about 105 to 110 degrees. And the other side of the tank should be high 70s, low 80s. They need to be able to have both the hot spot and the cooler spot of the tank to be able to thermoregulate themselves. That's pretty standard with most reptiles. But this guy, the guy that I got the lizard from on Craigslist, he has one of these mini halogen bulbs right here. These get really, really hot, but they aim all the heat at one spot. So it's a really intense, amplified amount of heat in one spot. And he had this on a stand directly in the cage. And when I got home, I measured what the temperature was underneath. Like, he had it like maybe that far off the ground. So it was, just a couple, 3-4 inches off of the substrate. And I measured what the heat was right underneath the lamp, and it was in like the 300 degree range, which is absolutely no animal on earth needs to be in that that temperature. So yeah, I feel like I got this lizard from a pretty careless owner. Didn't really know what he was doing, and if he did, then he was neglecting the animal. I'm pretty lucky that I got him out of there when I did, because he looked like he was in pretty bad shape when I got him, and now he's doing much better. He's been hydrated. I water him. You're supposed to water them a few times a week, 2 to 3 times a week. I just did it yesterday, but I guess I'll try again today and see if he's thirsty. Doesn't look like he's thirsty. He'll usually start drinking right away as soon as I start spraying him. Yeah, he's just hanging out right now. I think he's a little bit scared since we're watching him so closely, and I picked him up. They get stressed out very easily, and they'll just like freeze up or they'll run away. So you don't really want to handle them too much. Yeah, I usually keep the lights on for about 12 hours a day. And then since it's winter right now, I'll keep them on for 12 hours a day. And then in the summer, I'll keep them on for around 14 to 15 hours. I also I have a heater in this room, so I'm able to control the temperatures, keep the entire room temperature. I usually keep it around 70 degrees throughout the whole room because that actual heat in the entire apartment is set a little bit higher. So just in case it falls below 70 degrees, I have the space heater to make up for that. But I don't think it really does. Yeah, I don't think he's hungry right now either. I fed him earlier. I have some footage of him eating ants, though. I'll include that in the video. Yeah, I have some pretty cool. I think I have footage of him burying himself in the sand when he's going to sleep too. I'm not sure how good the footage is though. I think I walked in the room right as he was doing it. Man, I just missed it.
What?
I was trying to record a video of the Phrynosoma burying himself in the sand, but he was just doing it as we walked in.
You're not recording?
No. It's good to give them places to hide. Like most lizards, they like to be able to hide. They can always bury themselves in the sand, but just in case they don't want to do that, it's good to give them little caverns like underneath there. There's there's a glare from the window. You can hide in there. On the other side of the tank, there's one with on the cool side of the tank, so just in case he wants to get out of the heat. I try to take care of the animals as best I can. There's still, some things that I have to take care of that aren't at the most important things. Like I still need to get the backs and the sides of the tank covered with something so he can't see out of that and the kid's not trying to run around. Once he's a little bit bigger, I'm going to move him up to a bigger tank. Still got to do that. I want to change I want to change the sand to get a little bit finer of a grain of sand. I usually feed him on top of the rock though, so there's usually no chance of him getting impacted from that. I've actually witnessed this lizard getting stung and bitten by ants, and like I said earlier, these ants can kill a small mouse, but with this lizard, he feels it, so he'll run around and he'll get freaked out and stressed out. He'll run around and try and get the ant off of him, but he won't die. He might feel a little sleepy for a little bit, but they're immune to the poison, so he'll be fine. So if you have one of these and you think your lizard's gotten stung or bitten by one of the ants, don't worry about it. Maybe give him some space. If you can, get the ant out of the tank. Just let him do his own thing and be by himself for a little while, and come back in an hour or two, and he'll be fine. He or she will be fine. You can continue feeding him then. Yeah, it's actually happened once or twice with me. witness the ant stinging or biting the lizard, and the lizard just goes crazy, start running around. And what the heck was that? They do that pretty cool thing every once in a while. Their tails will like vibrate. It's almost like leopard geckos when they're about to strike. The tip of their tails will start vibrating really quickly. He does the same thing, but he's got a different kind of tail, which is pretty cool looking. Yeah, these are definitely not a beginner species. If you're thinking about getting one of these as your first lizard or reptile, yeah, there's little fruit flies that he's eating in there. Yeah, if you're thinking about getting one of these as your first reptile, I'd strongly advise against that. Get a leopard gecko or a bearded dragon or a skink, something that does not have a lot of requirements, something that's a lot easier to take care of, something that you can hold and you won't stress out to death. These guys they will not do well under a beginner reptile keeper. I was actually a little bit, when I first got this lizard, I was a little bit nervous about taking care of it because I wasn't sure if I was ready to take care of it, but I think I'm doing pretty well with him. This is my first one that I've ever owned, so I think once I upgrade to a new tank, I might give him a little buddy in there. I might try and find a mate for it. I know still have to figure out if it's a boy or a girl, so shouldn't house males together. That's pretty much a good rule across the board for every species. Just stresses the other males out. One will become the dominant one and they'll just keep dominating the other one and stressing each other out. Yeah, these guys require a lot of space too, so don't get one if you can't afford the space, because they need a lot of space. So there's a dead ant right there. So thanks for watching YouTube. If you have any questions or comments, concerns, leave a comment down in the comment section. I'll get back to you. As always, like, subscribe, share, comment, and thanks for watching.